going on, Jerome's? So I know it's fashionable to hate on Nickelback, except the music's actually pretty catchy, right? And since they're Canadian, it's interesting. I noticed this is how you remind me. It's not like you to say sorry, since they're Canadian, so they say sorry. It's funny. Anyways, the Minnesota Vikings need to add some pass rush along the defensive line, and a name that we said to watch after the commies let him go, is Jonathan Allen. The veteran can still get after things, and reportedly, allegedly, well, it's hard to find information now because Twitter decided to just crap itself on legal tampering day, but Schefter. Former Commanders defense tackle Jonathan Allen is visiting today with the Minnesota Vikings, per source. He is said to have a good amount of interest. And, Pelissero, same thing. And it makes sense. And Allen and the Vikings have been tied together ever since he was let go. Plus, Allen's agent is the great Blake Baratz, who's based here in the Twin Cities. So it's good to go. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, you have a 30-year-old defensive tackle, just turned 30 in January. And what does he do? Are you going to break the bank for him? No. Is he going to come relatively cheap? Yes. But can he still consistently get a pass rush? Yes. He certainly can do that. Plus, he came back after tearing a pec last year, speaks to his toughness, and he wants to be out there. But overall, two-time Pro Bowler and a guy who consistently getting after the passer and pressuring the pocket and can do a lot of things. Now, what does he bring to the table? Leadership and production. He's a high-character, high-trait individual guy that will fit in nicely with the Vikings culture. Rotational pass rush piece. I don't think that you're going to be signing him to be a 1,000-snap player, although Flores says that all the time. But there's a reason why Flores gives the edges to the veterans, because they know what the hell they're doing in a very complicated scheme. Jonathan Allen would do that, but I think that using him primarily on pass rushing downs, keeping him fresh later in games, later in the season, can make a ton of sense. Can still get buckets, has had a 12.7% pressure rate over the last 5 seasons, which is really effing good for a defensive tackle. A contract isn't going to be huge. It's probably going to be under $10 million per season. Also, since he was cut, he will not count against comp picks. Plus, since he's been cut, he can be signed now, before the start of the new league year on Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Central Time, the only time zone that matters. Now, this list is in flux. Sheldon Rankins just got picked up by the Texans. Grady Jarrett just got tossed out there as well. But overall, in terms of, it's a very deep defensive tackle class, and the Vikings should still partake, but it's like signing Aaron Jones, right? I know people freak out about Aaron Jones, but in reality, it's a pretty cheap contract. And same thing if they give, say, $10 million to Jonathan Allen. It does make sense, and you're able to check the boxes on needs so that you aren't desperate in the rest of open free agency as well as the rest of the draft. So if and when they do sign, Jonathan Allen isn't even on this list. That's how fluid situations are. But it doesn't preclude them from signing, like say, a Levi Onwuzurike or drafting one either. So I think that Jonathan Allen makes a ton of sense for the Vikings for all the comp pick as well as the money ramifications, plus the fact that he's a leader who could still get after the passer and would fit in seamlessly in the Flores scheme. Plus, since he's primarily played, 3-tech, a little bit of 5-tech, but mainly 3-tech throughout his career, using him on passing downs, so the Vikings go with an even front, either a 4-man line or a 2-man line, makes a ton of sense and would save some wear and tear on Jonathan Allen. So it's lining up too much. It's lining up too much. It's too perfect. He's too cheap. He brings too much value to the table. This is a quintessential money ball move, but we'll see. But just get this done. Get it done, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Reportedly, Vikings and Jonathan Allen, Suzuman, arranging a meeting. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section, support the work, Venmo, blah, blah, blah. Skol, production value.